Okay, so we're going to continue. We're holding up a Bira Indian. Bira Indian. What in the world does Bira Indian mean?
Which page?
Explain this Indian that we just brought.
Could be. I'm just thinking about it now. Until now we spoke very theoretical. The teacher and the student, he wants the kid to understand, and the kid can't understand. The only way to use this is only by bringing in an alien concept, which means a concealment. And then the kid's able to understand the concealment, and through the concealment is able to understand what the teacher is trying to tell him. And then we said that there's 3 steps. Bring Shlomo Levi right now. We're waiting for them. And then we said that there's 4 points. You know the 4 points? Number 1, the most crucial point for the whole Maimer.
There's not any real concealment.
It's impossible that it's concealment. It can't conceal. Why can't it conceal?
You can't control yourself.
Ain't etzem after this. It's impossible for your hand to cover over your head. It's impossible that Kim is concealing over Havai. It's the same God. It's impossible. But it sounds like it is. So the Rebbe says that it sounds like a concealment. But the truth is that for the teacher it was never a concealment to begin with, because for the teacher it was always one concept. That's the first, like the second step. The first step of the explaining. Second step was even for the student, it's not a real concealment. It's just there in order for him to get something out of it. But it's still a concealment in step number 2. And step number 3 was that it's he's able to work on it and get every single detail out of it, and it's not concealment at all, even for the student also. That was the emotion. And then the example was the Havai Elikim. God wanted to make a limited world, so he has to use Elikim. So number 1, it can be it's a real concealment. But the fact is we don't see godliness in this world. There's 3 steps. For the Eibishter, for Havaya, there's no concealment at all, because it's all one. And even for us, although it is a concealment, but at least we have a world. There wouldn't be any world at all if there was no Elikim. There wouldn't be anything at all without Shem Elikim. So at least we have. So it is. The point is to be Mizgal, to be Megala. And step number 3 is to work on understanding this concept until we realize that there's actually really no concealments at all. That was it's called in Chassidus Haskalah. You know what Haskalah means? Haskalah means the whole point of this Chassidus. We had in logic, in theory. You have 2 parts of your driving test. You have the theory test, permit, paper, then you have the actual driving test. Now the Rebbe is going to pull down the Maimer to our daily life. The physical day, what does it mean in our daily life? That's a Bira Indian. Bira Indian.
What line?
Nun base, 15 lines from the top of the page, Bira Indian. It's a very, very big concept. It's our whole life is based on this concept. And then he's going to have to start off with a different concept. Tzarech lahakdim tchila inyin hanisyonis, winner. Inyin hanisyonis, what does that mean? What's the point of challenges? What's the point of concealments? What's the point of these tests that we have? Why is God driving us crazy? God is basically, in English, the word will be testing you. Your flight's cancelled, it's not cancelled. When are you going to be going? Shabbos off, not Shabbos off. It's roller coaster. What is the point of these roller coasters? Someone's very sick and then he becomes better, and then this thing happens and you almost missed it. And what's the point of all these? And you have so much temptations and taivas, you can't focus when you learn. I understand, God wants you to learn. Why are you making it harder for you? God wants you to dive, He wants you to learn. Why is He giving you all the taivas in the world? And sometimes it's very, very strong nesyonis. And it says they want to see if you're going to pass the test. Why is God driving us nuts? And it's a very strong line, this next few lines. I say it also, that the point of you coming down to this world is basically only because of the challenges. If you don't want to have any challenges, there's no reason why you came to this world. The only way you can actually get to your point in your creation is only through challenges. There's no other reason why you came down to this world. You were in the best place in the world. Everyone asking Shiva Katana, Shiva Gadol, should I go to Shiva Australia, go to Haven, Marstam. The best place ever, winner. You know where the best place is? Gan Eden. There was no taivas, no temptations, no nisyonis, learning Torah day and night. Do you know what kind of pain your soul went through 16 years ago? And going through every single second in your life? And the biggest question in Chassidus Chabad is why in the world did our neshamas come down to this world for? Why is every Maimer asking the question again? Every Maimer again ask the question, because it's still a question. We don't belong in this place. There's no reason, this doesn't make sense why we're here. It's like pure torture. It has to be really, really worth it. Why you would go through so much pain of 80 years of trauma, of pain, of depression. What's the point? Hashem had the best time upstairs. So the Rebbe says it's brought down that the only point is because of Messianics. So he's going to go for like a whole rant, but you should remember the point. What's the Rosh Davis? It's brought down in different places in Chassidus. They're called Tachlis Yeridas HaNeshama Beguf. The only reason why your soul went down to a body and to go to school and then go to yeshiva and get married and have kids, the whole life of a person, it was the biggest pain, the biggest Yerida. He's going to explain why it's such a big Yerida. Before he came down, you guys remember how it was before? If you would remember, you wouldn't last in this world 1 second. You don't know why it was so good. If you would remember how you were living before you came down to this world, you wouldn't last 1 second in this world. The only reason why you can last in this world is because you don't know how it was before. You know, when you're born in North Korea, for example, those kids that were born in North Korea, they didn't even realize how much pain they're going through, right? People that were born there, they saw kids dying in school, they had no food, so they're able to last. But those people the parents that came to the camp, they go nuts, died right away. So God, the angel flicked that we forgot how it was before, but you could at least learn about it and think about it how it was before. Well, at least for sure, you didn't have any pain. There was no pain. There was no depression. There was no feelings. There was nothing that you could imagine. There's no being bored. All the tzaris in the Welt, you're having a blast. Like you don't even know what the biggest blast you could have in this world is like the biggest pain compared to the way it was before. What's the Rosh Davis? It was standing in the higher world. Where? Gan Eden, Hatachtain, or Gan Eden Elyon. Depends where you come from. Everyone comes from different places, right? And over there, it's hard to even describe how good it was because in your world it's not even good. Because you don't even know what it means to have something good. Maseges Elikus. Understood Elikus. If someone in this classroom got a little bit, 1 second in his life, a little bit of imagination that he understands something, already could trip out and live off that for your whole life. To understand a little bit of Elikus already is the biggest enjoyment that there is in this world. And by the way, you just know that by the end of the day, everyone's looking for enjoyments. You're not looking dafke for the mashke for this, for that. You're looking for enjoyment. If you would adapt and connect to the actual understanding of Elikus, but this is like nothing. It's a millionth of how much the soul, the neshama understood before. The amda, real love. The avavir, real love, real fear of God. Like you can't even there's nothing in this world that even comes close to that. Like it says in Torah, like it says, Hi Hashem, Hashem Adzi Lefonov. Who said that? Who was upstairs and then came downstairs? I think it goes on Elijah the prophet. It goes on every neshama, by the way. We were all upstairs before. And we were standing. Could you stand without a body? How could you stand upstairs? What do you mean standing? Standing means that you were on a higher level. Avavir. Amidu lamaylo, bitul bitul. Amidu lamaylo, standing upstairs. In a shaykh shom, amidu, you're not sitting and standing because you don't have feet. What is sitting and standing when you have a body? It means bitul, like it means that you're totally in the level of bitul, nullification. 16 years ago, your soul got a message on the phone that he has to come all the way downstairs to this crazy, crazy world. And he says goodbye to all the neshamas, to his teachers. And she leaves from world to world. Until she came down to this world, everything is backwards. And it's so distant from God. Some people are so far, they don't even want to understand and they don't even care to understand. Like it's like the most precious thing, it's so far away and even disguises it sometimes. Who needs this? And those that try to learn, Bochum and Yeshiva, it's fast. But you're never going to understand Malchus Datzilis, Chochmah Datzilis, Ak, Radlo. You can't understand because now you can't see it. We're so blocked. The way you get in this world, the energy, it's nothing. Concealed, and the is a ray of the external part after the tzimtzumim. And even that, you can only understand with your physical brain in a very thick, grub way. It's not at all the same level the way it was before. He goes very long into this like side detail. Interesting why the Rebbe Rashab goes into this detail so much. He's just trying to get to one point. What's the point of the Rebbe? Who cares? He's going in so much depth into that detail, you think that's what he's trying to say. Well, what's the Rebbe trying to say? Why in the world did we come here for? Why do we come here for 80, 90 years in this world? And how much pain and how much suffering? And what is the point? The neshama is suffering the whole time? What's the reason? Because of challenges. Because of Messianis. That's the goal. And the Rebbe says the goal is to have challenges. What do you get out of that? But he's going now in the whole rant. What's the point? How low we are now, and how much we're suffering. We don't even know that we're suffering. Most of the stuff. There's two differences. There was much more higher levels of godliness in Atzilus. Were you in Atzilus before Tzvi?
Yeah.
How do you know? Were you in Olam Abriya?
Yeah.
Yitzira? How do you know?
No.
But you know that you said it this morning? Elokai. You have some shaitim that say Elokai Neshama. No connection, it's Elokai. God. Neshama Shanasatari. The soul that you gave me, Tahirei. What's Tahirei?
It's higher.
Atzilus. Ata Baroso. Bria. Ata Yitzarto. Yitzira. Tanafachli. Every day you say this today. You say this. You don't remember. You're going through the whole cycle. Vata Osid. Vata Osid, Levi. What does that mean? Vata Osid. And you shouldn't taking it back to you also. We start off the day saying we came here, and you're going to take it away from us also. We're going to be going back upstairs soon. We're here it's only temporarily in this world. You know even how much that word could even change your whole life. This is the most temporary thing. You're 100 billions of years before, it's believable before, also afterwards. You're here for a few days. Oh, crazy how everything looks in the house, in the car, exactly has to be. What you want? What's with your car? What's the elastic coming out of your car? What's with that? What's with that? What's like, you don't understand, it's not even yours. You're here for a few days, whatever, you gotta go. Temporarily you're here. So first of all, it's much less energy. So over there it stays raw, ruchnis. When you get to, when a bocher gets avavir, if you ever get real love, you have to get rid of all the other loves to get real love. And when you get a real love to God, that love is nothing compared to the way it was before. Number one. Number two, even it's less energy, and even that less energy is full of coverings and a lot of helms that stay. Even what the small energy that's there is also concealed. Everything is covered and covered. You have to break yourself. You have to work very hard to get a little bit of a feeling towards God, towards davening, towards chassidus. It's hard. So what's the point? It's such a down, all the way down. So the Rebbe says, the challenge is, why am I having a challenge? You were trying to run away? That's the goal why you're here in this world. The 90 years of you being here is because of this design. And people go crazy. You have to understand that that's the goal why you're here. So by the other, has the problem. By the way, does anyone here know what a real challenge is? Know what a real challenge is? Not imaginations that you think this guy thinks this about you, or you think about this connection, or you think about this thing, or you think this. That's just air. What's a real challenge? That someone said no to you, or you wanted to go here and you weren't able to go there, whatever it is. This doesn't come on the paper. You know what's real in if someone's sick, if someone can't move in bed, like a real challenge. That's what everyone's talking about over here.
What if you never go?
Good question. Hopefully, yeah, we should stay with. I don't want to ask that. We should live like that. I'm broke. I can't buy a second. I can't buy a cigarette. It's not broke. Broke means that you have no food to feed your kids. You were never even in a position to even able to have a real nisayon. You know that? But the real, like the Rebbe is trying to target, by the way, these. So obviously, I don't want to take it away. Every bocher has this yoinis, and at the end of the day, what your nisayon is, your imagination is obviously real for you, right? But the Rebbe is trying to go to the hardest ones, and then obviously take it into your life. But obviously, you just know, like, it does the same effect. Like he was asking, oh, so you need to come sick? No, thank God. Vachrim, no, they're so professional. We're able to get to these yonis without getting those real ones. First, it's real, just machshavas. But what's the point? It's like such a concealment that you have. You can't focus. You go nuts. You can't sleep. You go meshugeh. And the point is to take you away from the energy of God. Second last line. The Rebbe speaks so strong. What does that mean?
There should be constant from
Things are driving you crazy, holding you back from inside and from outside. Could be your friends. Hey, come all of a sudden. Hey, come with us right now. Do you know how strong, how hard this thing is? By the way, phone calls like the guy is doing so well in yeshiva, but he says I can't continue here. Everyone wants to go there, and I'm already out of that already. But it's like a very strong people around you. It could be the family. It could be people around you. It's very hard. That's mibachutz. Sometimes inside you have so many things driving you crazy, especially someone that's doing well. Someone's starting to daven and starting to work on this. You just know, that means that you're doing very well. The Satan is going nuts. So if someone is just tripping up and learning davening, Satan doesn't need to even work with him. No nisyanis. If someone starts getting a lot of machshavas and someone's getting a lot of taivas, you just know that a lot of times it's a very good sign. If someone's trying to do well, you're trying to get closer to God, that's the way it works. That's the way it works. That the Rebbe says, if someone doesn't invest too much in davening, so I don't think the Satan is going to have too much work with you. You're not going to have, because davening is the real goal that there is. Okay, so I'm not going to work on davening because I don't want to work on davening, get a real connection to God, and you can want to know if it's real. Again, hopefully you're not going to have any nisyonis and any stuff. But if someone gets involved in different types, different machshavas, different connection, whatever it is, it could be a very good sign. Last line. And your goal is obviously sheyamid b'nisayin. You just stand strong and get kol minei ma'akiv. All these things that are driving you crazy. So you just know, what am I spending so much time with this machshavah? Sometimes the Baal Shem Tov says, sometimes with just one thought, and that was your goal to fight with for a few years, just with one machshavah. And the Rebbe says that was the reason why he came down to this world. That's your whole goal. You're trying to run away, going crazy. How could this happen? This is your goal. B'shvil zeh, last few words. B'shvil zeh yatachlis ha'yirida. That's why we put the neshama down, all the Yiddish neshama. Why? Shal yidei zeh. What does shal yidei zeh mean? Through breaking that challenge and showing how it's nothing, that's the way the neshama gets a certain target that it was never able to get in any Gan Eden, Tachton, Elyon, nothing. Being in this world, in a body, with the machshavas, with the bris, everything, being in this world with all that's how the neshama is able to get billions of dollars that he's not able to get anywhere else. So the Rebbe says, how? How? That's the way to do it? To go down to the shmutz, to go down to the hell of the hester. That's how you get the Yisrael. Now that I was going to start explaining. Let's try finishing the paragraph. What is a challenge? What is an nisayon? Inyan nisyonis heim ha'alamas ve'asteirim. It's concealment. Should I use the word fake? It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up. Something covering over the truth. Shema'alimim u'mastirim ala emes. Every single challenge, it's really, after the challenge is over, you can't even believe it was even a challenge. It's like a joke. Come on, what's the kind of... Every challenge, it's a myth. While you're in the nisayon, it's hard to realize that. That's the point of the Maimer. You understand that it can't be that it's a real... It can't be that there's any reality to any concealment, because ain't etzem aster aletzem. To understand that, it's still very tough, obviously. But you understand? If you would know, it's the emes k'may shaloi, but it's a cloud. If you would know the truth, then there's no nisayon. Kim kol inyan nisayon, the whole existence, the whole mitzias, the whole hagdara, the meaning of a challenge means that you don't know the truth. When you continue, you break that challenge, then you see that it was fake. The Nisayon, it's really a cover-up over something, but it looks like a very real thing. But you have to just prove it's nothing, and you crack it, and then you see, wow, it was stuck in nothing. And when you crack the shell, you get that truth inside. That present, that inside, it doesn't exist nowhere in this whole universe, in any world. That is the darg of Havai Hulaki. Then how do you build that? That's the third step of the Maimer. When you get to you hear? Hevra. Story. Like your Zaydik. And we're saying the Avraham Avinu. Remember Avraham Avinu in our casting? How old was he then? I don't know, his father snitched on him. He's serving God. They put him in jail for a few years. And then they put him into the big fire. Is that an Nisayon, by the way?
Yeah, of course.
Hevra, is that one of the 10 Nisyonis, Mr. Winner?
Yes.
It's a whole machlok, is the Rambam, Barbanel, all the shittas, you don't know? Which parsha speaks about Urkazdim? You make sure you know the answer to this question, otherwise we do bullshit. Which parsha speaks about Urkazdim? None of them. There's no such thing. That's not in Chumash. It's a medrash. You want to ask the teachers in school. They ask them. They all start opening up a Chumash, looking where Urkazdim is. That's very embarrassing because everyone knows it's not in Chumash anywhere. Whole story of the fire. It's a medrash. It's maybe mentioned in Rashi somewhere. So now you have. How old was he then? Maybe 50, 60. It was before he was 75 years old, right? What was going through Abraham's head? Was he going to live, or was he going to be burnt alive in the fire? Kevin. Obviously, he thought he'll get burnt, right? He didn't know the truth, because then there wouldn't be a challenge. Imagine now, you know the Chumash, you know that you're going to go into life. Shkoyach. Went into the fire, came out alive. Then it wouldn't be worth nothing, and you wouldn't be getting anything out of it. The whole point was that he thought it's a hell of a he's going to get burnt. And he still did it. He still wasn't his fault. He broke it. And then what happened then? A miracle happened then. And God made it. No. Obviously it was a miracle. But the meaning of the miracle means that it was revealed the truth that fire doesn't really burn. It's only because of nature, because Shem Elokim that it burns. But it doesn't mean that people think that fire burns. God made a miracle. Here the fire didn't burn. Who said the fire burns? Who said the water takes out? It's all Elokim. It's all natural. But it's not because it has to burn. And by him the truth is revealed. They'll do it inside. They threw him into the fire. He didn't know he was not going to be burnt. If he would know that he wouldn't get burnt, if he would know the truth at the beginning of the challenge, that it's garbage, then there's no point, no challenge. He didn't know that he's going to survive. You thought he was going to get burnt. He thought that Shem Elokim is going to deal with him, nature, and the fire burns, and he's going to be finished. He probably said goodbye to his family, finished. But Chevre, what's the truth? We know that Teva begematria Elokim. The whole nature, Hatev, the word of Hateva is the same gematria Shem Elokim. This is Shem Elokim. All the nature things you have in this world. Also, a lot of them is assumptions. You have to go to school, you have to get a degree to make money, you have to make a product. All the things that go through people's heads, that you have to go this, you have to do that, you have to call, you have to this, all the stuff that are in nature, it's all concealment. It all comes from the concealments of Shem Elokim. That's why any limitation that any existence has, limitation comes from Shem Elokim. The fact that fire burns, water takes away. This nature is to have this hot. This is cold. But the reality is, mitzad Shem Havaya, Shu B'chinas building, mitzad Havaya, higher than nature. There's no difference between fire and water. And by the way, you just know, the fire, the water's not going to take away the fire. And like the guy came home and he saw his daughter crying, what did he say? You know the story north? The guy came home, his daughter was crying. Why are you crying? Because I put the vinegar instead of oil. Who cares? The same one that said oil should light, could say vinegar should light. And that's what happened. Which means that because you lived on that level. When you live on that level, that's how you live your life. When you think, no, this is how it has to be, Rabbi. I have to do this, so then you're going to have to do that. Whatever you think you need to do, you're going to need to do it. Then you understand that it's really nothing, there's nothing that needs to be. There's no such thing that it has to be this way. No, it's Hashem Elokim, it's all, it could be anything. Whoever said oil should light, and also like the in Mitzrayim, Mayim ve'esh, the fire and water, didn't burn on each other. He made peace between the fire and the water. Not only that, remember that story? I think if they want to just use together, because I know a lot of guys that went to the fire, they got burnt. I know, so what do you mean? One guy survived, a lot of guys got killed, right? So, if nature was a real existence, so then it would always, so then that's how it would be in every single case. The fact you have some people that lived on a higher level, and Eliyahu Navi one day says, Chevra, bring water on the Mizbeach. Why put water on water on water? What was his plan, by the way? He had to have a fire coming down from heaven. Why are you putting water there for? He put water, and he put, again, water 2 times, 3 times, and then a fire came down, the fire burnt the water. And everyone screamed, everyone fell, I don't know why he doesn't even mention it over here, but everyone fell on their face and y'all screamed, Havayahu Elokim. Where does it say Havayahu Elokim? It says it over there, it says it in a few places in Chumash. But it says over there, Havayahu, that's when they saw that nature above nature, Havayahu Elokim, it's really the same thing, and it's not a real, nature is not a real existence. If you think it is, so it's real. So the fact you had it a few times in history is already enough to prove that it's not a real existence for itself. I mean, the Makkah Mitzrayim by the fire. This is all higher than nature. Which means the way it works in the regular world, we run the regular life, the way you're born, it's all Shem Elokim. Although it's Havaya, which means although it's really above nature, because we said before, because Havaya Melech and Al it gets created and the world runs through Shem Elokim. Everything gets concealed. That's the concealment of nature. Water. Don't now after the shear, okay, let me try it out, put my hand into the water, into the fire. No, because the fact is, there is Shem Elokim. Elokim made nature. And that's the way the world runs on a regular daily basis. It goes through Shem Elokim. And that's why Avram thought that he's going to get burnt. He didn't think he was in the level of higher than nature. And nevertheless, because Ahmad bin Yisrael, he thought it's going to be hard for him, he's going to get burnt. But he wasn't in his fault. He stood strong, not to be separated from God, and to make it into nothing. He didn't care about it. So he sniffed at the goose. They wanted to kill him. That's called an Yisrael. When someone's pulling you to the stake, if you want to come Christian, or I'm going to burn you now alive. So lucky that in our generation you don't have that real deadly challenges. We have other deadly challenges. It's harder in a way because by then, they got killed within a second. We live with this every single day. We feel like we're going through this fire. And it's all the concealments. Don't move. He stood strong. And it could be machshavis, could be your friends, could be your roommates, could be your teachers, could be the family, anything. The whole world. He went into the fire. And what happened? He cracked that challenge. He cracked that shell. He cracked that concealment. And how did it happen to him? Because he did it. He took away the shell. Through standing strong and not being nispol, not the cure. He says he took away the natural concealments. And that's why he lived above nature, because he took away the whole natural shell. So now it's above nature for him. And that's why the fire didn't burn. People think it was like a nest. Hashem made the fire didn't burn. No, because he took away the nature. He showed that nature doesn't have any say. Doesn't mean there's no significance to this nature. He just went further, so he broke the nature. That's why automatically he was able to go through the fire, because he was higher than nature. Only if you're living in the concealments of nature, so fire is going to burn. But how did you get to that? Why only Avraham got to that level? Because he worked for it. He broke the challenge. And when every single Bachar breaks any challenge of he wants to see something and he holds himself back, or Machshava Zareh, or he wants to do something, he holds himself back. Even every single time you break any challenge, you lift yourself up to a higher level. You break a concealment in your life. Every single challenge. He's going to go through it soon. You're breaking and you're getting to a higher dargah. Is it already Ma'ariv? What's the time? What time is Ma'ariv?
8:45 usually says.
So they have to call us right away. I don't know if they're going to call us. I don't want to miss Ma'ariv. I'm not going to have to run after the meeting afterwards. So we're just going to finish this point and go run. Oh, the Judas, we have a minute here, but I don't know, these guys, after for some reason, when we bathroom mice, everyone disappears over here. 3, 5, we have a minyan here. Do you know how different it is when you're learning with a minyan and not learning with a minyan? If you think a minyan is only for davening. When you're learning with a minyan, it's a totally different level of energy. It's a very big thing. Chassidus Chabad speaks about it a lot. Huh?